What if you could get $1,000 in as little as 48 hours with TaxSlayer? You can. Introducing Refund Now, only from TaxSlayer. E-file your taxes. Get up to $1,000 in as little as 48 hours. No upfront fees. TaxSlayer.com. Details. Good to have you in. Also today, Alex Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs is stopping by. Tony Gonzalez, Kenyon Martin. Want to thank Stephon Diggs of the Vikings who stopped by. So, listen, people are making a lot of this whole underdog thing. I mean, Philadelphia, reel it back in. Yesterday at media night, like opening media night, like one of the Philadelphia Eagles, actually several, wore dog masks. This is absurd. Okay, you got to reel it back in. You're exactly what you should be on a neutral field. Tom Brady against Nick Foles, Belichick against Doug Peterson, 8 Super Bowl against none. Okay, this is exactly where you should be, a 4 to 4.5 point underdog. Tom Brady talked about, the Patriots being big favorites.
I think, they're well coached. I think they're good in all 3 phases. They play complementary games. I think they do a great job. So, there's no underdogs in the Super Bowl. They're the first seed in the NFC, man. They're 13-3. They had an incredible season. So I don't buy into any of that. I think they're as dangerous as any team in the league. And, it's going to come down to whoever plays the best. Hopefully it's us.
Listen, I've watched New England every snap for 7 Super Bowls. I can tell you what's going to happen to a large part in this game. Number one is New England's not going to score on their opening drive. How do I know that? They've never scored in the first quarter of 7 Super Bowls. They tend to come in a little cautious, like a heavyweight fight. They jab a little, don't do a lot of tricks. It is a feeling out process. They're not going to use a lot of their tricks or exotics. We've noticed this last week against Jacksonville. They generally let games develop. Now, they do lead in about 65% of their games, and at halftime, they've led in some of these Super Bowls. They're not going to be great. They're not going to swing for the fences. They're not going to go higher risk. They're not going to use exotics, as they call them in football, early in the game. That's the first thing. It's very possible they will not have a robust, dynamic, offensive first quarter. Number 2 is they'll make a mistake. They've had pick sixes. They'll have a fumble. They may have a block kick. Like, New England doesn't play perfect football on this stage. They don't. They've had a gaffe in these Super Bowl games. They've made mistakes. They've turned it over. They've had a fumble. They've had interceptions. They'll not play perfect football. And Philadelphia does a good job of generating turnovers. So don't be shocked if very early in this game, a big pass rush, a hit, ball's loose, Eagles have it. New England doesn't play perfect football in these games. Here's something else you'll see. New England generally wins the halftime adjustment battle. They have in virtually every Super Bowl, even the ones they've lost. They have against the Giants the first time. They couldn't move the ball very much at all early. They had a little more success in the second half offensively. And here's the other thing that we'll see in the game. It will be close late. And New England is designed for close late in Super Bowls. Okay, this game is going to be situationally crucial, and that's what they're designed to do. This is the best situational football team of my life. And I'm not sure, maybe Bill Walsh's 49ers, I'm not sure there's a second place. Okay, so they're not going to be dynamic in the first quarter. They'll feel it out. They won't play perfect. They will probably win the halftime adjustment battle, and the game will be very, very close late. And that's what New England football and Brady football is designed to be. There was also a moment on yesterday's show as we get ready for Super Bowl 52, Eagles and the Patriots. Jim Mora, former NFL coach in Seattle, Atlanta, and UCLA coach, when he was at UCLA, Tom Brady gave him a call once. And he talks about Tom's commitment yesterday on the show.
So it's Saturday morning, and I get a call from Tom Brady about 7:30. He says, "Hey, Jim, can you meet me up at UCLA and let me on the field? I want to throw." And I go, "You're in town?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm in town." I go, "It's your bye week." He goes, "I know, I need to get a workout in." Bye week before the divisional playoff game. So not bye week during the season, but bye week in the playoffs. So you'd think maybe he would want to rest and recover. 8 a.m. on the West Coast, Tom's out there throwing, And to me, that's just one of the things that makes him so special, is that commitment. You showed his, devotion to his film study. But he's driven, he's driven by an unusual passion to be great.
A couple years ago, I'm at ESPN in the summer, and Drew Brees is there. And it's in the summer. It's his vacation time with his family. OTA just ended. And he's grinding for 2 hours in the gym. And I used to work, it was right next to the radio studio. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, dude, no days off. And when I think of New England's brand, I think of precision. There's a moment in his Tom vs. Time documentary that really reminds me of stories I've heard about guys who work out with Drew Brees in La Jolla. For the record, Brady at UCLA would fly receivers in when he comes out west. He flies them to the West Coast. He doesn't use like UCLA guys, USC guys. He flies his receivers out, wears them out for 3 days, and then he flies them out and he flies in another wide receiver. It's all details. Tom versus Time, there's a really unique moment talking about his attention to detail. Here it is.
I'm trying to work on my attention to detail with my mechanics so that when I cut it loose and I rip it in a meaningful game, does it go exactly where I want to go?
Your head came outside. You made the pass.
Yeah.
But if you're being rushed for time, it's not going to be accurate. Tom and some of these other elite quarterbacks, they don't come in to get 5% better. They come in to get 1% better.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm pushing you too. You're so good. The aging process is unforgiving. He's not going to be able to do at 70 what he's doing now. But you can push.
That guy you saw, Tom House. But when I think of New England's dynasty, it always comes down to one play. The one play to me that has always defined the last 17 years, it's not a Brady play. It is the New England Super Bowl when Malcolm Butler intercepts Russell Wilson. It was a great defensive play. When asked after the game about the play, Malcolm said, oh, we knew it was coming. That if Russell Wilson planted his right foot, this was the play they would run. That interception wasn't about athleticism. It was about preparation. That play, none by Brady, defines New England's attention to detail and in turn defines their entire dynasty. That play against Seattle. Hour 2 coming up. Blake Griffin, no longer a Clipper, going to Detroit, clearing space for LeBron in the herd.
This isn't merely about money.